You're listening to the Power of Love Show, only on LA Talk Radio.
Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
It's time for the Dr. Tanji Show.
Hey, you're on the air with Dr. Tanji. Talk to me.
As soon as I hear your voice, Dr. Tanji, my day is better.
Hey, Dr. Tanji. I took your advice and made some changes in my life. And you know what? I've been winning ever since. Thank you for your advice.
Now, here's Dr. Tanji.
Hey, welcome to the show that was founded on Kingdom Principles. A show that's designed to move you from where you are to where you want to be. A show that is packed full of people that come on and tell us, hey, how did you get there? And of course, we cannot do this show without your girl, Jeannie, Kitty of the City Joe.
Meow. What's up, Dr. T?
Hey, Jeannie.
It is so good to see you.
Thank you so very much.
It's sunny La La Land.
I know, right?
Doing big things.
Doing
Leadership,
big things.
part
How
2.
about that?
And you have an amazing guest coming up
Yeah.
from in the wonderful sunny skies of Florida, who's going to talk about how she uses her platform to lead. And you had some amazing tips on Talk to Tanji and guests so far. So I'm glad we're at part 2 and how you look for leadership. How do you implement leadership? And most
Absolutely.
importantly, you know what? We got to talk about, what leaders are you around?
Wow.
Ooh.
That's good.
Ooh, did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
I'm glad I'm around you.
And I'm glad I'm around you. So let's get started. I had so many things to say, and I'm trying to write it, and I'm trying to kind of compartmentalize everything. So I just jotted down just a couple of things that I want you listeners, you VIPs, to really get with this series of leadership. And I want to focus on discovering your personal leadership and then those leadership qualities that you want to be mindful of. It's in the toughest times, situation, and circumstances that your personal leadership style will prevail. Your beliefs are a direct result of your thoughts, and here's how. See, your thoughts create your beliefs. And your beliefs create your convictions. Your convictions create your attitude. And your attitude controls your perception. And perception will dictate how you behave. Now, here's the result. You have the ability to think what you want your life to look like. Now, do you continue as you are, or do you choose the self that you've discovered that you want to be? Now, that's a question. Here's the question again. Do you continue as you are, or do you choose the self who you've discovered about yourself? And you can answer that question at your leisure. But here's a few tips that I want you to remember. I want you to evaluate your past and your potential. And I want you to step towards one of them. You got to choose either your past or your potential. Now, there will be a time when you have to leave the confines of safety. And as frightening as that can be, you got to choose. Now, this is what leaders, this is discovering your leadership style. Now, I need you to cross that ocean of intimidation and fear and enter the maze of the spirit of leadership. You were created to manifest this spirit. And there are 3 things that I really want you to keep in mind as you continue strong this day and finish out the remainder of the week. Your attitude is powerful. There's nothing as powerful as your attitude. Leaders, we think differently about ourselves. And number 3, I want you to seriously take some time and think about the person that you know you can be. Oftentimes, it's not until our backs are against the wall that we prevail. This has been a trying week, and for those who have stopped by and sent text messages and DM'd me and sent me prayers, I say thank you. One of the hardest things to do is to get up and keep going. And I'm here to tell you that if I can do it, and my back's against the wall, VIPs, but I've got a smile. I choose to be blessed, and I choose to have the right attitude. There's no stopping me, and there's no stopping you. All right? We're going to continue this series until you say to yourself, all right, I get it now. I am that leader that she's talking about. Let's get started. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking copious notes. And thank you for smiling no matter what. All right?
Well, you know what? Like we consistently say, some people are like born leaders, and I don't want you to think, we talked about this a little bit last week, Dr. Tanji, that if you don't have an organization right now, or even if it's a movement with just you and somebody else in your living room, that's a movement. Even if you haven't gotten there yet, it's okay. We're talking about leadership in your family, in your community, in your church, in your a child's environment. It doesn't matter where. Maybe somebody you know down the street needs your help. That's a movement. That's being a leader. And joining us on the Dr. Tanji show is someone who obviously was a born leader. We'll talk to her about how she developed and led her platform. But within this, and this is where I think a lot of your VIPs, your viewers and watchers, Dr. Tanji, right where they are, not so much head of an organization, but taking your passion, your talent, helping others. You'd be surprised how you elevate, you rise up in the situations you had no idea you'd be catapulted to. So we're welcoming to the Dr. Tanji show, Corinne Melissa Purchase. She's checking in from the MIA, and she started her evolution, fashion swimwear designer, show producer, consulting model. So, she's doing that it life, so you say, well, okay, she's there. She's doing that Hollywood thing in Florida. Okay. But I cannot wait to hear Melissa talking about how her passion evolved into philanthropy for youth, helping inner city youth understand their vision so that, by the way we have access to social media, our babies can be set by 19, even younger, so I love the fact that Corinne did that. And then she done, again, then I just tell you about how you look out for somebody else and then you rise to another level. Here we go with Corinne again. And she, a fashion designer expo, the largest minority owned fashion exposition in Miami. Let's give it up for Miss Corinne. Meow. Yes. That's a higher heights.
Yeah, welcome to the show, lady.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Wow.
I know.
How did you get here? We're talking about discovering your personal leadership style, and there had to have been something that got you to think out loud and then to do. What was it?
Tell us from the beginning for everybody who has no idea.
Yeah, it's honestly, it all began with this love for fashion. Like literally, that's where everything started from. A love for fashion, and then I started producing shows. But then while I was producing shows, I started meeting a lot of models, and I saw the need for love in the fashion industry. There was such a lack of love there, and working with the models, and because models are so young in the fashion industry many times, and so like teenagers, I started working with them, and just the love that we were able to exchange, and I was able to see how my influence on their lives, it was so powerful. And so, from that point, I started working with teenage girls, and then it just developed into working with women and empowering women through different conferences. And so it's just all just developed from this love for fashion, or just love for people.
That's good. The operative word there is love. And,
Hmm.
love is a responsibility and it forces you to do. And that's exactly what you've
Hmm.
done. So we thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned that it is to fulfill, it says helping others, your mission, fulfill their
Hmm.
purpose in life by
Hmm.
chasing their God given dreams relentlessly. You
Yes.
spell it out so beautiful that whoever looks at this mission can honestly take it and say, hey, I want to be a part of that. Love, yes,
Yes.
is your premise, but why do you feel that there is a God-given dream in everyone? I mean, we know that to be true, but why you? Why do you believe that?
I feel like we were all put here for a reason. I feel like um, I'm so passionate about making sure I accomplish everything that it is that God wants me to do. I feel like we're not finished until we breathe our last breath.
Hmm.
And I feel that for me, and I feel that for everybody around me, everybody that I can touch. And so it's like my goal is like I have this driving force inside of me to make sure that everyone that I come across, everybody that I can reach, fulfills that same thing, fulfills the mission that they have in life. And so if it's in the arts or entertainment or whatever it is, I want to be a part of helping that person get there. And so I do it through fashion. I do it through different entrepreneurs. Like I host events where they can show their products that they make. If they make candles or whatever it is, that's what I just try to do, because I feel like that's when life is fulfilled, when you've completed everything that God has given you to complete.
But you
Absolutely.
know what,
You
Corinne, you
know.
said you make sure that you do that. Can you paint a picture? Because a lot of times when you have that it thing, which you obviously did in fashion, but for those who don't know what that experience or where you start, when you say, to assist people with their God given talent or to help them along the way, give us an example of how you help somebody from, where they are to where they want to be. What do you do specifically when you reach out, or is there a process where they come to you? So can you paint what that process is like?
Okay, good. Okay, so first, I do consultations. That's first. I do dream consultations. That's what I call it. And I sit with the client and we talk about what it is what their talents are, what they feel like their gifts are, and usually I ask them what gets them upset. Like what do they see when they're driving on the street that gets them that they don't like. So for example, if they're driving on the street and they see a homeless person and that just irks them, that could be something that's in them that they want to do something about, right? And that could be like a passion or something. It can stem from there. I always tell them that it's a chasing your dreams is not just a one stop thing. It's not like, okay, I have a dream, I'm going to chase it and I'm done. No, it's a chase, a continual chase. It's, okay, I started with fashion, but then it developed into conferences and it developed into consultations. Now it developed into, leadership workshops that I'm doing. Like it just keeps on developing. These dreams just keep on growing. And so I always tell my clients to just start somewhere. And when you start there, then it'll grow and it'll develop. Um, and what it looks like as far as what I do as well for the clients, I offer business scholarships. And so right now I have a business scholarship going on. I think they can apply until August 31st. And you have to be a woman-owned business. And it's like a $500 scholarship. You just submit information. And then I invest in a lot of different companies. If I feel like a company is really impacting the community in some way, shape, or form, whether it's even providing a product or a service that the community needs, I like to invest in that. And so that's one of the ways that I do that as well.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That look, that's what I was looking for. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Wow.
that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah. Wow,
amazing. That is
Corinne.
amazing. And thank you for disclosing that, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And
Absolutely.
I love how you
Yes.
evolve from the consultation to, like I said, the workshops to the expo. It's a process.
hmm hmm Definitely a process.
Absolutely.
I really thought that I would just be in the fashion industry forever. I thought it stopped there, but it didn't. It just grows. Like I think once you just say yes,
Hmm.
he just like it just turns into something so much bigger than you could even imagine.
I'm glad you said that because my segue is a good idea is something that you can do. A God idea is so big and so many people
Yes.
benefit, and it looks like it's going to fail. And you're asking him, "Are you sure?" Me? So thank you for
Yes.
taking that baton and saying, you know what, I'm going to run with this and not being a one dimensional person, but as living as many dimensions as you possibly can. And I do like the fact that you said, in essence, when I stand before him, I'm going to be empty because you're
Empty.
living, yeah,
Exactly.
you're living life, honey. You really, really are. Wow.
Exactly. And I want to touch on something you just said too, that like it doesn't really happen overnight. It is a marathon, like with Fashion Designers Expo, I started it 12 years ago.
Hmm.
And there were years that I said, okay, no more. I
And
can't
what
do this
made you say
anymore.
no more? The stress,
Oh
the
man,
people
financial
not
problems.
right. Talk, but see,
It's
you know
hard to
what?
find sponsorships
Hmm.
and
Talk about it,
support
Corinne.
and things like that.
Mhm.
But I just knew that this was a God-given thing. This wasn't
Hmm.
my thing, and I just knew that I had to keep going. And now we're the largest minority-owned fashion week in South Florida,
That's huge.
and
Yes.
it didn't happen overnight. it,
Hmm.
it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears
So did
to
Absolutely.
get
faith
it
did
there.
faith make you push through? Because I know when you're producing an event, all kind of things go off. Like I said, between lack of
Oh,
funds, people
yeah.
telling you they're gonna be there, they're not there.
Mhm.
I mean, just so many loopholes and pitfalls. So was it? Did you have a partner, a team in your faith that pushed through? Like at your darkest time when you were gonna shut the doors, what was
Mhm.
the
It
situation
was
like when you said, "I'm gonna keep going"?
my team. It was the team. I think it is so important to have a team of people that surround you that can pick you up when you just can't go anymore. And the team that I have around me is so strong, and they where I'm lacking, they fill that. And they were everything that I needed them to be in the times I wanted to give up. So I just think that the people that you surround yourself with is so important for you to
Absolutely.
reach the dreams that you have in
Glad you
mind.
brought that up, Dr.
Hmm.
T. We just
Yeah.
talked about, and these are also key components of
Right.
being a great leader.
Right.
Corinna saying,
Mhm.
simple as that. I mean, if my team
Hmm.
wasn't strong, I mean, I am the lead, I am the face, but
Mhm.
there's a force
Oh,
behind me.
absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. So
Mhm.
important.
Exactly.
When you're selecting people on your team, Korean, I just want to kind of put some emphasis here. What what values, what core values are you looking for in those people that will ultimately hold your ladder and coerce you to, hey, come on, put on a smile and let's go, lady. What core values are you looking for?
Honestly, the very first thing I look for is what's their relationship with God like?
Wow.
Because we have to be in line. We have to
Okay.
be aligned. We have to
Okay.
be in tune because we take some risks in business. And
Hmm.
I have to know that the Holy Spirit is guiding you. And um, it's very important that we're aligned and in tune with the Spirit. And so that is the first thing that I look for. And a lot of I would say 90% of my team members um, came from the church that I grew up in.
Hmm.
We all have that foundation. And so a lot of them came from there. Now, I do have some industry folk on my team as well um, that that didn't come from my church, but they know the relationship that I have with God, and they 100% respect it. And so they bring their expertise to the table. And in their case, It's just as long as they're in tune with what we're doing and they're focused on that same goal that we're focused on, and they have qualities, they have leadership qualities. Because I consider my team a leadership team. It's not just I'm the leader, you're the team. No, you are leaders in your own areas. And so I look at their leadership qualities. They have to know how to lead people, their customer service, their hospitality. They have to know how to love on people. And I think that's what has made Fashion Designers Expo so powerful in the fashion industry down here, is because we are not just, when the models come to us, we're family. When they go to another show, it's just work.
I got you.
So it's different. You know, the love that we give, as long as all the team members are in tune with that, then we're good.
And that's why she's winning, because in the industry, you just don't get that.
Absolutely.
Everything she's saying.
You
So
don't.
she's providing
Right.
something you can't get anywhere else.
Right.
As much as fashion has been part of our landscape in the industry forever,
Right.
she's offering, I mean, something you can't get. Everybody just nasty, cat scratching and,
Right.
trying to get over and climb. And
Yeah.
she's providing, like you said, a quality platform and embracing. Wow.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You discussed, Corinne, a principle that I will be discussing on Monday, God's willing, on Talk to Tanji. It was a leader in your own area of gifting. That is so paramount, because it goes back to we all are leaders. And the leadership shows up in your area of gifting. What area do you serve in? That's what you serve the marketplace with. That is what you serve people with in that area.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for that. And that forces, believe it or not, and you know this, that forces your team members, your leadership team members, to be accountable to their area of gifting. It really does. So it's a win-win is what I'm saying. It's a win-win.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And then can you talk a little bit, Corinne, with all of the success that you are having, why it was important for you to reach back to the teens in your community, and what part of your program they play, and how they elevate from connecting with you?
Okay. I look at my life as a teenager and think about the things that I wish I would have known back then. And I use that information along with the biblical principles to help guide the teenage girls that I'm around. And so I created a program called Divas, and it's Determined, Intellectual, Virtuous, Accomplished Sisters. And it's a sisterhood where they're a group of mentors that we pour into these girls, and we provide them with the information that we wish we had when we were their age, and we feed them the word. And I think that this better prepares them for life ahead. And so this is what I've been doing for years. This was, I think 7 years ago, we started this program. And I mean, it's good to see. It's almost like we've launched divas into the world and now they're in college, or they have, career jobs, and it's just a good feeling. But I just feel like it is a responsibility of mine as a leader to develop who's next.
Absolutely, Corinne. Have you ever encountered an individual, a young lady who you see the potentials? I mean, that there are endless possibilities with this young lady, but she doesn't see it. Have you ever? What's your mainstay from getting that person, that young lady, to think what you see in her?
That's a really good question, because sometimes it's very hard.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been through situations where just some girls have gone through so much at a young age. By the time they're teenagers, they've experienced sometimes so much more than what a normal teenager experiences.
All the time. Yep.
Yes. And I've found that the only thing that wins them over is love. I have found that sometimes it's not just you giving them scripture verses and, kind of forcing the Bible down their throat, or, whatever.
You.
It's love. It's love. It's love. It's a little text that says, I love you and I'm thinking about you. It's let's go to Wendy's really quick. Let's go sit down for 10 minutes. Let's talk about how your day at school was. It's just those little gestures of love that wins them over. That's what I found that works for me here.
Absolutely. It just goes back to your foundation, and you said it yourself coming on air. Love. It is love.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
absolutely.
And then some people
Absolutely.
don't know how to do that.
No.
Okay.
No.
And so I love the fact that you said just going to Wendy's. You know
that
me,
is
Doctor.
so true.
That's just simple things like going to
Yeah,
Wendy's. How you
yeah.
doing?
A text
How that
message.
situation work out? It's
Yeah.
those things that help them get through, and you
Yes.
have no idea. That's it. It's not this platform and we meeting and
Yeah.
it's you've got to say this and do
Yeah.
that. Everybody's walk is different, and when
Absolutely.
can't imagine these
Mhm.
teens going through 20, 30, 40-year-old problems, and you trying to throw some breakdown processes to them. They're like, look, I
They
can't
don't, yeah.
digest all that, and nor do
That
I
doesn't
want
work.
to. And a lot of times I don't want to hear it either. So I'm with them.
Exactly.
Look,
Very
I'm winking at them
true.
in the back, like, you know what? Let's break out. Let's go to the
Oh
park
my
and just
God,
talk. So thank you for
Exactly.
saying that. She just
Yes.
said go to Wendy's.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
get some chili and a
Yeah.
salad and talk about it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's right.
I'm going to join
That's
your
right.
divas group.
Wow. So, Corinne, what's next for you? The woman that had a dream and she said, you know what? Okay, I can do this. And then she allowed God to use that yes. And so many branches were formed from that. And so many people are being shelved and saved on those branches. What's next for you?
What's next for me? Right now, I am in my second year doctoral residency at the University of Phoenix, and so I graduate
Wow.
next year with my doctorate. So
Congratulations.
Okay, doctor. Well, we know next time Dr.
know,
Purchase,
right?
Dr. Corinne Melissa Purchase is on the line.
Absolutely.
Kudos.
So with that, I want to focus on my writing. I think I want to focus on writing more leadership manuals, books, just things that focus on whether it's even church leadership, just leadership. I just want to focus on that aspect of my career now. So I believe that that's what's next for me, more focusing on my writing.
Absolutely. I could feel that. And I'm so glad that, our spirits were in line. Because I wanted
yes.
to tell you,
That is-
lady, if you
I
don't get these
can't
volumes
wait.
out of you, you better.
That is amazing. These gems and nuggets, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
And on IG and the Stallion, all these girls are talking about a hot girl summer. Corinne is a definition of a hot girl summer.
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want y'all to know. You need
Absolutely.
to look her up. What are your social media platforms? Where can-
Everything is Kareem Melissa, Karine Melissa, Melissa. Everything is Kareem Melissa.
Yeah, well, go at Kareem Melissa, and that's your hot girl
at
summer.
Kareem
I just want to let you know.
That's it right
you know
there.
what I mean? That's what it is. Wow.
Yes.
You are a breath of fresh air, and this month that we're doing
Aw.
the leadership series, I'm honored and I'm grateful that you said yes to coming on and showing us how to do it, even when you are having to tie a knot in this thing called faith and walk even the more. I applaud you for that.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This was a great discussion. Thank
Yes, it
you.
was.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk to you again. And as soon as we hit the MIA in Miami, we're calling you. So
Yes.
for the
Welcome
divas,
to
yes.
MIA.
No, trust. All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
All right, ladies. Have a good one. Take
Back
care.
at
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? If that is not inspiring and motivating and uplifting,
I don't know what to tell you.
I really don't.
So
either.
VIPs,
Come on,
okay,
guys,
you
you.
up next. We're gonna have you on the show next. That's
You
the
know,
challenge.
That's
That's
a
what we
good
do.
idea.
And I tell you what we do. We have people submit what their leadership platform and plan is,
Okay.
and to inbox at Dr. Tanji Show, and we'll have them on the guest. We'll make a platform every month,
Huh.
once a month,
I like that. I
and
really, really
and that
do.
will be back to our original decision that you
Right.
wanted to do to
Right.
elevate, push you right on through from where you are to where you want to be. But
That's
you
it.
got to be ready though.
Yes.
You come on the show,
Absolutely.
your stuff got to be lined up and ready
Absolutely.
because we sending traffic your way.
We're gonna push
There you go.
I like that. And let's segue into my mom when she was on the show. I said, listen, if you could wake up every morning and do whatever you wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
what would that look like? And of course, her beautiful answer was, I would help people. That's beautiful. But what about you? Was my question.
Mm.
So she wants to do fashion design, home interior design.
Okay.
So we came up with the name,
Okay.
Designs by Annie.
Oh, cute.
So I told
She about to launch that in
we're
Mississippi?
about to launch it in Mississippi.
Oh, well, and
We
y'all are thick down there. So.
We are working on that, and I'm excited because at 60 plus years old.
Oh, please. That's
it's
just a
never-
beginning.
I know, right?
Please.
I know.
She gonna mess around and Martha Stewart gonna be like, ooh, Annie coming in, blocking some of my ratings. Annie is coming through.
I absolutely
wow.
love it. Yes,
Plenty
yes,
room
yes.
for and we need that.
Oh, absolutely. I just want her to do it. I want her to have fun. She's going to retire in December, God's willing.
What a great
I want
transition.
her to do that. And I
Wow.
told her, I said, I'm going to hold your hand. So that plea, that genie has just launched to everyone. Take it serious. We're really, really serious about it. It really is about you shining. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I can't say that enough. When you win, I'm winning because I'm being graded, honestly. And I honestly believe that I was sent here to do nothing but inspire, to motivate, to get you, even if we have to pull, and we'll be pulling on one another. But we're going to do it with an attitude of, yes, we can. We can do this. So please do what she's asked. It's info. Are we using info at drtanjishow.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Info at drtanjishow.com.
And you can do it anywhere. Inbox, at Facebook, Dr. Tanji Show,
Okay.
Instagram. I mean, that's
Okay.
the beautiful thing about this platform thing. You know, we can submit and communicate anywhere. So just leave if you have your business already established. You know, just send what you have.
Yes.
You know, if there's a reference, Instagram, your website, whatever you have. And even if you haven't done that yet and you need help in any particular area, whether it's marketing, development, you don't know how to do something, whether it's an app, we will help you. We have resources of a team of people that have access to all of that information, or at least to direct you in the right way of what you need. So,
All right,
yeah.
guys, the clock is ticking. Come on, let's do this thing together and let's have fun. Let's finish strong this year. Let's finish real strong. And
Yep.
those things that you were hoping and believing for, maybe you even fasted for it or prayed for it. Maybe you cried for it December 31st. They can come into fruition, but it is going to take a collective effort, and your believing that, yes, I can. And those things that you have not kind of put out there, if we need to sign off on an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, we can do that, because I want there to be a trust factor.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
we're not
right.
going to steal your idea and take it to
And that's
market.
the first thing I can't tell. I had 5 people hit me. That's how I woke up this
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
Well, Jay, I don't want anybody to steal my idea.
No.
Well, you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a real concern.
Yes, it is.
And it happens all the time.
All the time.
And this is only my suggestion as a business consultant. You know, anything that you can do to protect it, if it's something that, be patented, if you can
Trademarked.
register, trademark, copyright.
Mhm.
However, let me be very clear. I don't, and this is my beliefs.
Okay.
I don't think anything is unthought of.
Right.
It's taking something and making it your own, and taking it to another level and doing it the best.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
That's it. Now, here's the thing. If somebody takes something that you thought of, okay, and it has to be verbatim. Let's be clear. There's a lot of people thinking about doing Uber, okay?
Right.
There was nothing new about that concept. It was a taxi ride that was with a chic, slick name to it, contemporary name to it, okay? You know how many people had that in thought with partners for years all over the world, but somebody pushed through and got it launched. They made it happen. They did it. Okay.
Absolutely.
You don't know if it's going to happen until you put it out there, first of all.
Absolutely.
Another thing is, if someone takes your concept, you've disclosed something to, you have to have proof, first of all. And it has to blow up in order for you to get paid. How many times have you guys seen these lawsuits in music? the song has to be a hit for you to get paid anyway. Then you want it to blow up. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Let go. Sometimes it's okay to let go. Go ahead and blow up. If you have your paperwork in order,
Absolutely.
consult with the lawyer or whatever you need to do, but let it blow up. You will get paid if you can prove if that was authentically, again, that you sent it to them, you had communications with them. You have to keep a journal and all that stuff. But other than that, you can't just sit on stuff. Somebody else is going to do it.
Right.
Why not you?
Why
That's what we're
not
saying.
you?
Why, and like we're trying to tell you, let's go now.
Yeah.
So we celebrating this time in 2020, like you calling the Dr. Tanji show. Yo, Jeannie, Dr. T, remember when y'all told me we're here and we're coming to your expo next?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so excited about
Look,
that.
I see it. I'm telling them, let's go. But
Absolutely.
the whole, by the time the NDA, if you savvy enough to be able to insert everybody you send it to, I say go for it. That's great. But I've seen people sign NDAs and still do things.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All
That's your
right.
2 cents, right?
Yeah. That's my
I'll
2 cents.
accept that. I'll accept that. Jeannie, we've had some discourse in society, and I know that it's on the hearts and minds of so many people. And I want to speak to that fear that may have come up and said to you, it's no longer safe for you to go grocery shopping, or no longer
At Walmart,
safe.
imagine
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, what is going on in the minds of people?
Well, we know we're in some of the most turbulent times, and it happens in history.
Yeah.
But it's consistently bad right now. Do I have hope? Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it's starting with you,
Yes.
the platform you're creating, Dr. Tanji, and what we do again back in the leadership in our own cubbyholes, homes,
Yes.
organizations, churches, schools, wherever you are. I think that we're very quick to, a lot of people are constantly saying, I mean, look at our leadership at the White House. Again, that's a platform. It's not everything.
Right.
And, that can't be what is ticking everything. I mean, a lot of people say he's leading, putting hate out along with other people's coming from everywhere. It is, the climate is more rough than I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. But I think that and President Trump says, I mean, it's mental health. Everybody has a mental health issue, and that's the reason. But at the same time, we are having these people who clearly have a record of issues but are able to legally purchase guns.
Yes.
So we understand the loopholes, who's being financed and what is happening. We all know, I mean, it's programming. It's all part of the process. But the reason why I'm glad you brought this up, Dr. Tanji, and how these situations, and we send so many prayers to the families in El Paso and Ohio that lost lives. I mean, from the babies all the way to the elder, just living life like we all do. And who would know it's your last day? And the kids that are, committing these mass murders, I mean, they're in their young 20s. They don't even know you not even starting life yet. I mean, like, so again, I'm glad, again, we need to pour into the youth. So we're selective about who we're talking to, because these children, like our guest we just mentioned, they're dealing with this 11, 12, 13 years old. Depression. Then we putting them on pills. And so then you're addicted to drugs. And so the president says mental health, but when we talk about leadership, it's interesting. One of the biggest stories trending right now is, I meant to ask Melissa this, because her in her hometown of Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross is, trending heavy, because he is also the owner of incredible workout system, Equinox, Soul Cycle, and other businesses that a lot of my colleagues, friends, we've all been to Soul Cycle all over the country, a lot of different cities, but he owns all this. But he is financing a huge fundraiser for President Trump in the Hamptons. So I'm saying that. So a lot of people are calling, if you are a member, you're probably surprised that he is the owner of all of these platforms, but he, supports, someone a lot of people have in discord with, because of how it is being communicated or handled in terms of leadership, when we have mass murders, what's coming out of your mouth? How are you inspiring? How are you changing? But people have differences of opinions. But
Right.
going back to leadership, who's on your team and what you support, you have to do your own research
Absolutely.
with everybody. So I know that I'm sure Miami Dolphins might not, well, they know now because it's trending.
Right.
But how long have you worked under this umbrella that was a huge support system? How many people at Soul Cycle just getting their cardio on, trying to live a healthier lifestyle?
Yeah.
Is that in accord with what you believe in? And where is that energy coming all the way back around?
Wow. That is definitely something to make you say,
See?
Wow. I never looked at it that
Yeah,
way,
and I know
but yeah.
that's a lot, but I'm
That's a
I'm
lot,
just saying
yeah.
from what you
Oh,
mentioned,
absolutely. Absolutely.
that is the thickness
Right.
of what we're dealing with. That's the base of it. So you got all of this stuff going on.
Absolutely.
We got all of this going on. And why those 21-year-old young men that angry, so angry that you go into an atmosphere where your own biological sister's there and you kill her?
Jesus.
What is the woo?
Yeah, yeah.
Woo.
I will say this, for the younger persons that are listening, if you see something, if you hear something, if you're around someone that makes you, makes that chill up your spine and
A little bit off.
if just say something, please say something. Don't discount it
Yep.
as something that is, that's just who he or she is.
Or a little off today.
Yeah,
Doesn't feel well.
yeah,
Don't want to be
yeah.
bothered. We're real
Right.
quick to do that because we're always texting
Right.
and scrolling. No, just
Absolutely.
stop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please.
Just say, are you okay?
Yeah, be
Because
present.
you'd be surprised those very few
Yes,
seconds will
yes.
stop an incident like that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Which happened to me yesterday, since we're talking here, open, honest, and sincerely.
Okay, that's what we do the Dr. Tanji show.
I'm driving, right? I had to run an errand, and I'm making a right turn, and I clearly had the right of way. This gentleman proceeds to almost run me off the road. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, come on, guys, not today.
Right.
So me being who I am, I'm mouthing, come on, man, be careful.
Right.
So this guy gets very upset and just slams on his brake. My car immediately stops from hitting him, and then he does it again. And
Wow.
I've got to think, what do I do? Do I get angry and run up behind him and God forbid? Or do I say, you know what? Let me go into prayer and get away from him.
Yep.
Well, before I could make that decision, he made it for me. This guy jumps out of his car at the
Wow.
traffic light and proceeds to come to me. I grab my camera phone and I take a picture. And of course, I go over to the police department and I'm telling him, hey, you may not be able to help me, but should this guy encounter someone, he's going to be hurtful or
Right.
vengeful.
Right.
Of course, the police says, I'm so sorry this happened to you, but please be careful. And he says something, the climate that we're in now. 3 police officers are sitting there and they're saying
They're
the
saying-
climate that we're in now. If that doesn't resonate to you, one, don't be afraid, but stand your ground. You don't have to prove how Billy bad you are. Just turn around and go in another direction. Seriously.
Right,
And if you're
right.
gun toting, and I'm all for, your right to bear arms, I am. But even in that comes a responsibility. You
Right.
don't have make it home safe. Go home. Whenever I'm out, I think about I got to get home to my grandbabies.
Right.
I've got to
My
go and
plan
read
is
a-
to come back. I
I've
wanna
gotta
see
go
them
read
grow
a
up. Right,
story.
right,
Absolutely.
right.
They're waiting on Nana. So I said that in the climate of just be careful, slow down. You hear me say this all the time, guys. Just you'll see me smelling a rose, and I may have tears in my eyes, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to take an opportunity to smell that rose, because what if it is my last time?
Yeah. Yep. And she means that literally. Like if you
Literally.
go to her Instagram and her Facebook, she is just walking down the street and smelling a white rose. I mean, just to take the time.
But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
what it does is that I'm learning that when I live out loud,
Just those moments.
I'm not
Mhm.
living to impress anyone. I'm living because this is the only time I got. Yeah, my future is here, but my present is here too. So I want my present to dictate my future by making certain that I'm living in the moment to do just that. Just take time and smell the roses, or write a song. Just live is what I'm basically saying is we've stopped. We're just kind of in that mindset of just getting by. We gotta
Yeah.
break free from that. I know things happen. I know this is doing, that is doing. Ugh, but you're going to be just fine.
Yep, that's not going anywhere.
It
All
ain't
that
going
stuff.
nowhere. It's not. So you might as well smile. You
Yep.
might as well smile and
Yep.
be in the moment. Because at the end of the day, Jeannie, life really is good.
Yeah, it
no,
is. It
no
is.
matter what. No matter what, it really, really is good. So, in the spirit of discovering who you are, that leadership style that you have, it will be sometimes birth. And I said this before, and I'll say it again as we're getting ready to close. Oftentimes, your personal leadership style, it prevails, it shows itself in some of the darkest moments. So make it through that dark moment, please, or moments, and know that you're not by yourself. And Kareem said it best, the relationship with God is how she selects. So I would say establish that relationship and know that no man, no woman is an island in and of themselves. We need people. We do. And it's okay to tell someone, hey, I need you today. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean that you don't have what it takes to be a leader. It means that you're wise enough to know I need some help and I better ask for it.
And that too is a very strong characteristic of a leader.
Yeah.
Very,
Oh
very.
my God.
If anybody you consider a leader, if you look at their stories, they'll tell you how many breakdowns and
Ah.
failures they've had, and it continues. You know, they can think so. It's real, and it's okay.
It's okay.
And it's okay.
It's all right. We're going to be just fine.
And I am so glad you're doing this leadership series. Don't forget, Dr. Tanji's VIPs, that is you listening, you watching, anybody who interacts at Dr. Tanji Show. If you have a business or organization already in movement, we want to support you. We want to know who you are. If you have something in development, we want to help you. And if you have an idea that you want to birth, we want to even help you from the infantry stage. We got you. So make sure you interact. You can send your information and contact to info at Dr. Tanji Show, or you can DM at Dr. Tanji Show, either on Facebook or Instagram. And I know that everybody will be tuning in on Monday to talk to Tanji for part 3 of your leadership series. I can't wait. I'm enjoying this.
Are you really?
I really am. I think this has been your it thing. I mean, we've done a lot of great stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is the real deal. This is the real deal.
Maybe because I'm pregnant with leadership.
Okay. Well,
Maybe-
you know my mouth just dropped too far. I said, we having a baby, Dr. Tanji. Look, I was ready though. You know I'll create something for it. I said, we about to do a clothing line. So gotta be careful.
No. Think about
Okay,
that
okay.
thing. It's not until you discover your
Right.
own personal leadership style.
Right.
Sometimes you get pregnant with it. And it's midwives and other
Yep.
folk that say, okay, it's time to push
That
now.
team and push it right out. Well, you're
Ooh,
doing it. You
jeez.
popping out a lot of great babies. And so talk to Tanji Monday. Don't forget,
Yes.
Interact Live. It's
Yes.
Facebook Live,
Yes.
5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I just can't wait for part 3 of this amazing series.
Well, thank you so very much for
Another
that.
great one. And thank you to Kareem, Melissa.
Absolutely.
Miami, what's
Yeah.
up? We love you, MIA.
Thank you for what you're doing, lady, for holding the ladder of so many people and allowing other folk to hold your ladder.
And we got to
as
go to
well.
that Fashion Designers
Yeah,
Expo.
I think
That's
that
a
would be
no.
good.
No,
Absolutely.
we're
We need to
gonna
find
go.
out.
We need to,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'd like that.
You know, I'm trying to place that as a deliberate trip for us. So, yeah, that's a purpose. That's a leadership move. Okay.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I want you to remember your attitude is the most powerful. There's nothing more powerful than your attitude. Please continue with an attitude of love. Continue with an attitude of forgiveness. Continue with an attitude of gratefulness in everything. You may not like the situation, but be grateful knowing that in everything you do, you win. If you're connected with God, and that's our platform, you win. We win in everything, no matter what it looks like. There'll be some dark days, some kind of stormy nights, but keep smiling, keep shining, keep showing up, and keep telling yourself, man, I am so proud of you, and mean that. There are times when no one else will tell me, and I tell me, you know what, Tanji? You got up this morning. That's half the battle. Now keep going, keep going. So I'm telling you, no matter what, promise me this, that you will not quit, no matter what, that you're going to show up for you, because you is depending on you. And then the assignment for your life is so great. You've got nations that are waiting. They're waiting for your smile. They're waiting for your hug. And they're waiting for you to tell them that this too shall pass. So thank you so very much for joining us. And thank you for showing up for yourself. I love you. And it is an honor to be here, to witness firsthand that leader that God has created in you. Until next time, don't forget to join me Mondays, 5 o'clock on Talk to Tanji. That's Facebook Live. Stay interactive with me at Dr. Tanji Show on all platforms. I'll answer. I will. It may be a day or two, but I will. And just know that you matter. You gotta know that. If you don't hear anything else, you matter.
We're doing this thing together.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You're listening to the Dr. Tunji Show with Dr. Tunji Scott, only on LA Talk Radio.